that's good. What? Oh. How is the audio? It's good to me. Still haven't decided what we're gonna do. And I haven't updated the title from last week. Because again, I had yet to decide what I wanted to do. Whether I wanted to do more Walk of Echoes. If I didn't do more Walk of Echoes, I wouldn't do it in Sparks gear. And then the question was, did I want to go do like something else? Go like farm Alexandrite, Nizzle Isle. Yeah. So I am flexible with people. If people have a suggestion, what they would like to see me do. Hey Peter, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Camera's all off today. Better. Oh. Could always do something else also if people are interested, but imagine the vast majority of my audience wants 11 content rather than some other game. Yeah, so the question is, so it's like, do I want to go farm for Nizzle Isle points? Go do Alexandrite. Could go do with ZNMs, but the thing is, I would have to go and farm. I'd have to go and take pictures. And that's yeah, super interesting. Not. Is it still worth playing FFXI? I mean, that's a question that, see, I think so, and I get that question quite often. I think that comes down to the individual. Did you enjoy playing back in the day? I imagine if you're asking that question, you're someone who played back in the day. And did you enjoy playing back in the day? And did you enjoy, you know, 11 for the most part, like leveling up, the content, the battle system? If you did, I think you might enjoy it today because it's a lot like it was, except for you're not doing as much stuff with people, and a lot of things have been streamlined. There's not as much, it doesn't take as long to do stuff. Like you can get through stuff fast, so there's not as much weight as there is, but it's still an MMO, it's still very time consuming. So again, it comes down to the individual. I think so, but to answer your question, Josh. So again, the question is, so what do we want to do? Let me go farm, because I haven't really done this at all outside of the Alexandrite I get from Ambuscade. So let's go do... We'll go do a salvage run real quick, because that only takes like 20 minutes, and then we'll kind of see what we want to do. I guess the big thing is, going back to the question, is it worth it? Did you enjoy playing 11 and like the gear progression and progressing your character the way you did? Again, back in the day. If you did, then you probably would enjoy it now in its current state. So, if you didn't, if you thought it was too grindy and you didn't like it, then you probably wouldn't. So again, like I said, I think that the question really comes down to the individual. So is this, hey, I started FFXI not so long ago, been doing a marathon of all franchises. I dig into FF11 a lot. You're not playing on Azure anymore, are you? No, I am on Bahamut now. I server transferred by this point probably like 6 months ago. And for the most part, very much enjoying it. Especially compared to how Azure, as the state of Azure was when I left. I'm very much enjoying Bahamut more. Used to skip school in 2004 to hunt Cryptos on Sylph. Yeah, there were definitely times I called out of work and stuff like that and was like sick when I wasn't really sick to like camp NMs and stuff like that. Definitely times also when I was in between jobs where I wasn't really job hunting. Was very much enjoying the time off and spending a little too much time on 11 back in the day. I do understand that. Is Pandemonium Warden soloable nowadays? Yes, he is. I have personally soloed him multiple times. Now, that's not to say he is easy, because when you get to his last phase and you have like all the astral flow stuff going off, you can die. So, I mean, if you're gonna solo him, I would try and bring like multiple re-raises, preferably some instant stuff so you can get back up. But you can definitely fight him even while weakened, especially since you have access to trusts. But it's not 100% just because he can wipe you and BS can happen. But yeah, he is definitely soloable and he isn't terribly difficult. What is this? Which ones are your pandemic remas? I'm not sure what you mean by pandemic remas. You mean what am I working on during this pandemic? I mean, currently I'm working on, what is it, Tizona. I'm also working on the, whatever... Solid. Working on this. I only need like 300 or 400 more heavy metal plates. I then started farming, and I already have a decent amount of currency already for Gallahorn. You're gonna want that, and I haven't really been trying at all. Plus, there's not a lot of shouts, and I don't even have a lot of jobs that are good for pickup groups for doing it. I would have to set up the groups myself, and haven't really had the desire to focus on that. But I need like 5 or 6 of the tier 4 helms to finish the Chengo. So. So wait, is he? Okay, yeah. That's where you trade the tokens for. Do I already have the? Okay, I do have it. You said extra FFXI time. Yeah, which ones? You're saying in Rued, are you talking like Warden of Courage and Kieran? Missile Assault Orders, am I stuck with? Well, I know you're not stuck to turn it in, but there we go. Yeah, what is it? Siryu, he's annoying. Because you basically need to do it melee, unless you're gonna be somehow solo. And he's pretty tough anyway. Kieran and Ward of Courage, they're annoying, but you can definitely do it like 4 or 5 man if you have top end people and you can like super buff. Again, not easy. Archangels are tricky too. We gotta watch out for the Mithra for charm. I'm glad you enjoy the videos, Joshua. Keep putting them out. Update this. That's good enough. Let's see if the chat actually works today. Hey. Well, it's currently working, so. I think it's the northwest one. It's been a while since I've done this. should be this one. I mean, I think that's most people just running around killing stuff. Cue in the Super Mario 64 slide music. I never really played Super Mario 64. Like, I love Super Mario games, but I never had a N64, and didn't ever even really play it that much over like a friend's house. I'm learning my Geomancer spells as I go, but do you use programs to gear swap or use the in-game gear swap? Still learning for the answer. I mean, I don't use any third-party programs, so I use all the in-game stuff, and I think it's more than sufficient for, you know, what you really need. I know, what is it, with, I can't even think of what the add-on is. I think it's like gear swap. I know with like mages you can't have like fast cast for like a spell that casts less than a second and have your fast cast gear on and then have your mid cast gear and then your end casting gear. Like if you're nuking or something to do all, you can't do that with the in-game stuff unless it's like more than a 3-second cast time spell. So there is that, but outside of that, I mean, I don't really see much difference. But again, as someone who's not used to it, I can't really speak into it. Geomancer's a really strong job. Once you get it down, I think it's a lot of fun. And it's super strong. Alright. Trying to remember. You want a full unlock. Yes. No, this is the 99 salvage. I'm doing this for Alexandrite. I can't remember if there's something else. Well, you now have everything anyways. We shall find out. Okay, yeah, I did think that there was 2 things to unlock. I don't think I'm gonna get anything else from these guys. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. Well, I mean, I'm going to farm... It's not just going to be for pouches, because I'm going to farm gears also. But yeah, the main point is for the pouches. And yes, it is a sweet dagger. Because again, I don't like using third-party programs. Just a personal preference for anything. I mean, I could just for aesthetic purposes, but... Then the other problem is like, currently I'm running this at 720 because my upload speed when I'm simulcasting isn't the best. So if I'm having higher quality stuff, I'm not sure even my streaming capabilities as it's currently set up to handle it. So there's that also. So that should be it for this floor. So let's got an idea of best starter job combo for hitting 99. What do you mean by starter job combo? You mean what would I suggest is like the best best job to hit 99 with to start? I guess you're talking like sub job by combo. I'm not sure what you mean by combo. Yeah, Thief, I mean, I typically would probably recommend leveling War first, but I would definitely... I definitely would recommend having Thief be one of your like next jobs after that to level up to 99, because Thief is just so super useful and it's so easy to level up nowadays. So. Yes, Thief has a ton of utility. I think it was only missing body. Got everything else. Yeah. I don't agree with that. I don't think you should pay anyone to level you, especially as a new player. You're literally just throwing away money for stuff when you could be making money while leveling. That's a waste. I completely disagree with that sentiment. Well, the thing about it is, with Maat, you can just beat him with Thief. You don't have to worry about, trying to steal. You do have to steal the Testament, from Thief mobs. Unless you're gonna, make your way into Den of Rancor and go take, the Thief and them there for the physical drop. But, you don't have to steal the Testament from Thief. I mean, that is an option, but you can also just beat him outright. And considering if you get Umbral in, I think it's black, you can summon Trust for the fight, so the fight's a joke. Man, why am I not getting any unlocks? So we'll just clear this room and then double back. Yeah, the changes they made to Sparks and Unity activities definitely sucks. Well, Maat, like I said, the only change they really did to the Maat fight is the fact that if you go through the starting stuff in Rhapsody missions, you can get, like I said, a key item that allows you to summon trusts. So essentially, rather than that fight being a one-on-one fight, it's basically a 5-on-1 or a 6-on-1 fight, depending on how far in Rhapsody missions you're at when you go and do that. So obviously, a one-on-one fight opposed to a 5-on-1 fight, it's a huge difference. So that's really the only difference. Hey, Grumpy Panther, welcome to the stream. Or wait, did I do it wrong? I remember. Farm fly traps first and then go the other way. Remember. I'm only missing Vit and Strength and Body. I think I can get all that. I can get all that off of Gears, so I think I might be good. I mean, Dancer is a very strong job. It's one of the best jobs for skill chaining. Not to mention, like, it can heal, debuff the mobs, it can tank, DD, it is a very strong job. It's not a job I've honestly played a ton. I've obviously utilized it as a sub-job a lot, but playing Dancer main, I have nothing against it, I just haven't put any time into it. I do know people that have, and it is definitely a very strong job. Well, War is the best sub-job in terms of just straight DD. I mean, there's obviously, you want to have other options and not just have only War, but if you're just want straight damage and nothing else, War is going to be your best choice. I remember if I'm missing a mob that I want or not. Oh well. I suppose I could kill some of these in case I'm missing it, because even if they don't drop the cell, as long as you kill something that could potentially drop the cell, you can still unlock it on the next floor at the lamp. So. I haven't played in a few years, but Samurai and Beast seem to be the highest DPS jobs. I mean, it really comes down to gear, but you don't see wars. I mean, there are a lot of wars. War is a very popular job. I'm not sure what server or where you're playing that you're not seeing any wars, because I see wars all the time. Hi, Ricardo. And yeah, Paladin is an extremely strong job. Basically, it depends what you're fighting. If you're not fighting anything that's strong magic, yeah, you're going to use O-Chain. Otherwise, you would want to use Aegis if you're going up against something with super strong magic. I feel like I missed the thing that drops strength and vid. Come on. Seriously? Never saw any wars at endgame? I mean, do you do ambuscade? I'm not sure how you would somehow play current 11 and do endgame content and don't see any wars. I just don't even know how that's possible. Oh, in 2016. Okay. Like I said, I don't know why you didn't see any wars. I mean, the game was not as going on then, but I mean, I know war was still highly used job then. Yeah, like Seth said, yeah, wars are everywhere. Go. Don't want to aggro him yet. Oh yeah, so yeah, you're talking about, yeah, that makes sense though when it was like the Geo, like Mage, Magic Burst era. That's when I like came back to the game and that's what like everyone was doing. Style lock. So Pup is kind of like a mixed opinion. It is a very strong job, and it's used, for a lot of, like, content to tank and stuff. That's typically done, for, like, stuff where things are gonna charm, or just have really nasty, TP moves, because that way the automaton takes it. Outside of that, I haven't really seen Pup used for too much unless you're doing like a complete pet strat. Come on. Yeah, you can always contact customer support to help them, and they can help you try and download it, or not download it, but get your ID. Dang it. I'm so out of practice doing this. Alright. So no, Pup's not going to do good for big pools because you can't really get your automaton to tank, you know, groups of mobs, from my understanding. You need a player character to really tank multiple mobs. That's, you typically want a Rune Fencer or a Paladin for that. The other jobs can do it depending on what it is you're doing and what level of mobs you're doing, but yeah, you're not getting a Puppetmaster to, like, do AoE AoE mob stuff. They're only going to really work for a single target. Alright, let's see if we can get these last two. It is, except for this zone that I'm currently doing. This zone that I'm currently doing, you can only do, once per, what is it, in real life day, so. Alright, sweet. Alright, I'll take a look at comments in a second. I haven't really been paying attention, but that's because I don't want to die at this part. Not that I should likely die with only 2 groups. I've definitely died at this part when pulling all 4 groups, though. Alright. Rune Fencer is typically more sought after than Paladin, sadly. Just because it can like bring more to the table in terms of DD capabilities and then debuffing the mob. But Paladin is still really strong, and in my opinion, Paladin is the more strong physical tank. But Rune Fencer is definitely extremely strong. Any thoughts on what crafting to pursue? I mean, you can really pursue whatever it is that you really want. Armored chariot. I only have a certain amount of time to kill this thing, I think. I don't really craft, so I can't really speak into crafting. I mean, that's basically any craft that it's going to cost you a lot of money to get top end. But then I know you can make money crafting stuff. As long as you're HQing, you're going to make decent money. Yeah, Paladin can sub Rune Fencer. You don't really see it done too much. I could see it being done for, like, magic resist stuff, especially if you're going up something for one element, but I don't think it's really done much, because if you have Aegis, you know, that's going to take care of most magic damage you're going to have anyway. Typically, either War or Blue Mage is going to be the more sought-after sub-job. But yeah, you could totally sub Rune Fencer. I don't see why you couldn't or wouldn't. I can't really answer that. I don't know if anyone else can. I imagine you can. Sublime Sushi is big money. I don't know what ingredients that takes, though. Alright. Let's hope we get a pouch. I personally prefer Paladin War, but a lot of people like Blue. You spam spells for, you know, for hate. You have Cocoon. I don't know what level Winds of Chromie is, because that's like a race. Like, you can get some utility spells, like Cocoon's strong, especially since you have so much defense on Paladin. Like I said, I personally just prefer War. We have Defender, but I know a lot of people really like Paladin Blue. No pouch, that sucks. Oh well. Typically pull all the chariots and AoE then. Let's get back on the groove. Well, I mean, Blue is a really strong job because it's like the job that can kind of do anything and everything. Kind of like Red Mage at this point. But it has even more utility because Red Mage can't really AoE. The real big strong thing about Blue Mage AoEing is that pretty much, you know, if you knew anything about AoEing with like Black Mage and stuff like that, the more mobs you have, the more your damage is dropped by having more mobs because the damage is split. Well, they now have these certain spells that are AoE spells that it's just flat damage. If you do it to one mob or if you do it to 50 mobs, as long as no one resists, it's going to do the same damage to all of them every time. So blue AoEing is ridiculous because of that. But just blue can kind of do anything and everything. It can heal. It's the only melee job, from my understanding, that can cap magic haste all by itself with no other help. Like I said, it can tank, because you can just set up spells to be all, tanky and defensive. It's just a DD job that can literally do almost anything and everything. The problem with that is, because a lot of people will suggest for a new player coming back, oh, just play blue, because everyone thinks so highly of blue, but the thing about it is, considering it can do so many things, you need so much gear and so many spells and everything. Blue has... the problem with blue, in my opinion, it has a really high floor and then a somewhat lower ceiling, because while it can do really high damage, it's never going to be the top end for damage. The only exception I can think for that is like AoE. Because I'm not aware of any other job. Maybe Beast can, because I know they can, but I still don't think their damage can top blue in terms of like AoE damage. But yeah. But yeah, blue is definitely, like I said, overpowered because it can like do all the things. It just can't do all the things at once. You just need to spec it out for what it is you want to do, and it's gonna pretty much dominate in any scenario. But yeah, it is tedious learning spells. I will agree with that. Yeah, definitely getting all that stuff is more tedious than spell grinding, but it still is a thing. It's not too bad if you get the hands and like upgrade them to at least +2, like 119 +2. So let's see how we did. 51. And 65, so 116. Not bad, not great, but not bad. Definitely was slow doing that. I definitely, back in the day when I was doing this for my Nirvana on cloudchief, went definitely faster. But again, when you haven't done something, when you're doing something like every day, and then you go to not have done it for like a year plus, you're gonna be... I mean, Red Mage, like I said, is the jack of all trades. Like, Red Mage and Blue Mage at this point can kind of fill a very similar role, except for, like I said, the whole AoEing thing. Red Mage can't really AoE. I'm sure you could sub Black Mage and do it to some degree, but again, you're not even going to compete with Blue. I don't think, like I said, there's a job that can compete with Blue in terms of AoEing currently in the game. Yeah, you definitely... That's one of the things that I like, is just always picking up a new job. And I like having multiple jobs to do things with. I think it's more fun. Let's turn this in and we'll see how much I need. I think I still need like 25,000, Alex. Yeah, without a guide, I mean, I don't even know if you. It would be hard to get some spells. Also, it would be hard to know what spells you can learn. There's, from my understanding, without using a guide online, there is no real way to know what spells unless you talk to another blue. A little better than I thought, 23,000. Oh yeah, Summoner can definitely AoE, but again, they're not going to compete with blue. But typically, when I would build an AoE party, I'd want a puller, anyone who could do decently at pulling. Obviously, War, Paladin, and Room Fencer are going to be the top 3, but other jobs could do it. Some sort of healer, typically something with regen would be strong, so either White Mage or Scholar, but Red Mage could do it too, for your tank. And then, typically you'd want a Corsair, just so that way they're buffing damage, and then also, Corsair roll. And then I would either want Summoner, Blue, and Beastmaster for AoEing, and that was typically the best when I would do an AoE party. So yeah, Summoner definitely in there with Rama doing Thunder Spark. Can do decent damage. Yeah, but if you're talking about, is Dragoon AoEing? You're talking, they're doing that with physical, though, compared to magic. So that's two different things. Because, I mean, you have, like I said, War Fellcleave. And that's, but again, that's a whole different thing. Like I said, I still think Blue is going to be the king of AoEs at this point. Core's really strong, in my opinion. It's strong by itself in terms of melee, and there's so much you can do in terms you can do magic damage, you can do physical damage, you can do range damage, plus you're buffing your team's damage. I really like Core. I also kind of just like the whole, roll RNG factor of it. Yeah, Dragoon's very strong nowadays, especially since the update that came out a few months ago, and they broke up the jumps. So now you can do all 4 jumps at any time you want. Dragoon is a TP feeding machine. Hey Brandon, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Now, I'm with you, Nezkeys. Like, oh yeah, I know a large base hated Abyssia, and I think the big reason is that's when the game switched from horizontal progression to vertical progression. They got the level cap. They felt like all their gear became irrelevant, but I personally enjoyed Abyssia. Oh, I've been doing well, Brandon. Hopefully the pandemic's not been bringing you down. It's actually been doing well for me. I mean, yeah, I hear you with it. You're talking about Fellcleave and then physical versus magic damage. But again, some things are going to resist physical damage and some things are going to resist magic damage. So, I mean, in certain situations, one thing's going to be strong over the other. If all things are equal, I mean, yeah. Yeah, Death Penalty is ridiculously strong for Core. Just Leaden Salute itself, even without Death Penalty, is strong. But yeah, Death Penalty is ridiculous in itself. The only problem with Leaden Salute is so much endgame stuff resists darkness, so then it doesn't work well. If it doesn't resist, though, ridiculous damage numbers. Did we just lose? We did. I hate when it does this. Yeah, you're not the only one. I mean, hopefully they'll change it. I'm hoping they're going to change it and up the limit to 3 to 500,000 rather than 100,000. 100,000 is just way too low. It doesn't even make sense. Like, I made a video talking about it. I was like, RMT's probably was making 1 million sparks a day. So limiting it to like 300,000 to 500,000 a week, you're still crippling RMT, and most players aren't really making more than 500,000 sparks a week unless they're trying. So. No, sparks aren't removed, but basically there was no cap. You had so sparks and Unity accolades, you could literally accumulate as much as you want, as often as you want. They now changed it literally like last week or 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, in the update, they changed it so you can only not accumulate. You can accumulate as many as you want, but to turn in for items. You can only turn in 100,000 worth of Unity accolades and sparks individually a week, and you have to wait for the weekly reset before you can turn in more. So considering 100,000 sparks would equal 1 million gil, I mean, gil sellers were basically, that's all they were doing was farming sparks, which makes sense. You could do things that aren't really affecting anyone, and then, you know, the market's not affecting you, and then it's instant gil. So basically SE to combat RMT basically put the kibosh on that by, again, limiting how many sparks you can turn in per week. And yeah, it sucks. I don't understand why they put it such a low limit. So. It is, but like I said, I kind of went over this in my video, and when I made the video, I wasn't aware. I thought it was, you could only accumulate like 100,000 points. And I actually realized before, like after I made the video, but before the video released, I realized how it worked, how it did. So there was, I'm trying to remember exactly. So I was saying that would suck if you're trying to do like Unity NMs and you run out of points. That's not the case because Unity NMs aren't turning in for items. But what does suck is, so say I go to a Unity NM, I get an NQ item. A lot of times I would just then stop doing the Unity NM, and I wanted the +1, and then when I would go out during XP window and I'm getting boatloads of accolades, I would just then go buy the items for 10,000 accolades, and after you accumulate 50, turn in, bam, you got the +1 item. You can't really do that now because that would take 5 weeks of turning in Unity accolades and not using them for anything else just to get the +1 items that way. So, and that's going to also affect if you're going to try and do that same thing, but get them for pops, because some of these items are used to pop NMs. So, limiting that is just... Basically, you now need to really go and fight the Unity NMs. I mean, it does suck if you were buying REM chapters, but I don't think that was the best way. I think you're best off doing high-tier battles. You can get, even just doing it on like very easy farming chapters was a much faster and better way than trying to turn in your sparks for REM chapters. So. Orb sells? Well, I mean, I don't sell anything, but I mean, there's plenty of ways to make money. It just sucks. Like I said, I just don't get why they capped it at 100,000. It should be like 300 or 500,000, and I wouldn't be surprised if they change it anyway. If they look at it, there's really no reason they shouldn't, but we'll see. I mean, that all depends if people are actually going to pop and go do the NMs. That should, in theory, do that, but we'll see if that actually goes that way. Yeah, the best I ever did was one time on a mule I got rank 3. But yeah, most of the time I only get like rank 4. Mog Bonanza always, it just seems to suck. Alright, so now what should I do? Let's see what time it is. It's 10 o'clock. So any suggestions on things I could go do? Could go do, if nothing else, go do Walk of Echo since that campaign's going. I'm open to suggestions. Iker. Iker is that in Harrier points, I think? I've already turned in the, what's it called? The eye patch. I'm already done. You want me to show you blue? What do you want me to show you blue? You want me to show you AoE for blue? Do a blue showcase? Okay, go top on blue. I'm working on, was it Tizona, Blues Mythic, so still have a long way to go. I'm only like kind of doing it casually. Alright. Ugh, nighttime. Alright. Could do some AoEing. I don't know. I mean, I haven't. When I was doing Walk of Echoes, I didn't go do the Mandy one. I take it. Is that? It's not. Is that 12? I think that's Conflux 12. That's the one that drops Enchanter's Earring, I think. I haven't seen people doing it, because Mandy's do suck trying to do that solo. Fatal Scream is just bad. Typically, I'd say at least 3 or 4 people doing it, all with their own trusts. Yeah, pixie hairpins are good. From what I've seen on Bahamut, people are mostly doing 13. I think it's 13. Whichever one drops the Wind Buffet belt. And then 4, which is pixie hairpin. And then occasionally they'll be doing like 11. Or not 11. Or is it 11? Whatever one is Flume belt. I think that's 11. But yeah, 4 does seem to be the most done, with 13 being behind it. Yeah, the 3 NM birds, like I said, the one for Wind Buffet belt. And Hasty Pinion. So I'm not even gonna bother to engage. Because we're just gonna, like I said, AoE nuke them up, so. Hi Nintendo Jim, welcome to the stream. No, it's still not fixed. I should update the stream name. Now you want to do blue. We'll do a few pulls of this, and then I'll do a couple NM pops, and we'll see. Trying to think if there's anything that I really need or want. Occultation is, it's like the white mage spell Blink. However, you, depending on your blue mage skill, will determine how many shadows you get. You actually can have like upwards of like 15 shadows with it. So, but like as you can see, it got through. So it's not like Untsumi where it's got to go through shadows before it'll hit. There's always a chance they could hit you rather than hitting your shadows. But considering you get so many shadows, it's strong. Yeah, like I said, Blue's the king of AoE. And since you said that, you can see I'm doing that completely solo. And there are improvements I could make to my nuking gear also. I mean, it is really good nuking gear, but I could definitely make some improvements. Don't really want to get the pixies. I don't have a macro set up for light sleep at the moment. Yeah, but, daytime here is just ridiculous, XP. Oh, fun, I actually got one of the pixies. Oh well. I didn't want to use Anvil Lightning, but... Spectral Flow's back up. It's like using Anvil Lightning. I'm ready to start the next pull. If I have an Ascendant mob. Actually, at this point, you're almost dead. I'd be interested to see Beast or Dragoon do what I'm doing here completely solo. Because the big thing is that I'm able to do this is that I'm relying on sleep going off. Alright. And the fact that I have 100% Spell Interruption gear for a set that I use for sleep is a big part of why this works. If I was getting interrupted trying to sleep on, that would be rough. I could see Dragoon having a little less issue. You just pull all the mobs, engage, and then go, and you can have your Wyvern help heal you. But, I mean, that's still... I don't know. No, I agree with what Joe's saying. Like, Bahamut is like the nice mix of there's plenty of people around to do content with, but there's not so many people like on Azura where it's like everywhere you go, it's packed and you can't go anywhere, especially with so many bots. I mean, the thing about it is that they get to that low damage here because, like, I'm having Cocoon go. I mean, granted, I don't have the defense, but I'm in damage taking gear here. I'm at 50%. In my set. I have Phalanx from Barrier Tusk, and, you know, they're hitting harder than what you're saying after Stone Skin breaks. Like, they have 22, 20, 40. I mean, let's... So I am in 50% damage taken, but what is it? And defense is 2,388. That's pretty high. I mean, I could use defense food to help with that. Because even when I've come out here and pulled do it with a whole party and done it on Paladin, I still think they're hitting me not for, you know, 0. Typically, they're hitting me low enough that decent regen from either a Scholar or White Mage is keeping me at full HP, but I don't know, it's been a while. I'm saying it's not possible, but I just don't know if I've seen it. At least at this camp. Alright, so that's AoEing. Let me go pop some NMs. Since now it's nighttime, gets a little more annoying here. Magic Fruit's the highest healing spell for blue, yes. This is the highest XP camp unless you're gonna go do Apex mobs, to my understanding. I mean, I don't personally multi-box, but I'm also, I mean, I've done it a little bit, but if I'm going to do it, I'm using a second computer, because I am not, you know, using third-party programs to do that. I have done it before where I have a second monitor set up with someone, and I'm using a friend's account, but I mean, I typically don't multi-box. I mean, if you multi-box, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I understand the reason to do it. I don't do it because I don't want to pay for 2 accounts every month. Plus, I prefer the challenge of trying to do things, you know, not necessarily by myself, because I will team up with other people to do stuff. But I mean, I like I said, I don't want to pay for 2 accounts, and I like challenging myself doing solo stuff. Not that you can't do that if you do have multiple accounts and you're multi-boxing. You can definitely, obviously, only use 1 account for something, but yeah, that's... Oh, you can do it. I'm gonna have a video come out in the next couple of weeks that had me going and cleaving Apex mobs. Completely solo, too. I don't recommend it. It's better XP doing what I just did out here in Rise and Jima than it is Apex mobs, just because they take so many nukes to kill. But you can do it. I can totally see a whole party of people doing it and it being efficient then. If you have like a Geo and like a tank pulling for you and stuff like that. Multiple blues. I could see then, yeah, AoE Apex parties doing extremely well. But yeah, that's... I've not seen, I mean, I've looked, I haven't seen a video of a blue solo cleaving Apex. Again, I know it's possible because I did it a couple weeks ago. And like I said, I'm going to have a video come out soon just showcasing it. But and I'm gonna say in the video, like I said, it's not efficient, at least where I'm at, to do it. So. Saw Blue do 80 and 90k to a boss. What are you saying? How the hell? I mean, typically they're being buffed. It's not hard to hit like 99k on certain content if you have like a Bard, a Geo, a Corsair, you know, between all of those buffs and then debuffing the mobs, it's not terribly hard to hit the damage cap. Okay, I mean, that's interesting to know. I'll have to come out here and see how much they're hitting my Paladin for then. Yeah, Paladin is ridiculous. Yeah, Aeolian Edge for Paladin is definitely the way to go. That's another thing that I will do AoE stuff, is going Paladin. Going Paladin, Red Mage, and then Aeolian Edge. Well, yeah, skill chains, depending again if you're buffing for it and doing that. Speaking of which, I need to change my spells. Fine. So I'm gonna go melee now. The one annoying thing that they need to fix about Blue, and I know with third-party programs they have this, but setting spells. They need to make sets for this. Alright. What? Missed that yet. Meditation. What else am I missing out of here? Did I get erratic flutter? I don't think I did. Sickle slash. I didn't get the fusion ray, did I? No. Is that all the way down here? Fusion ray. Paladin tread. Yeah, so. Alright, we'll go with that. Whoops. All right, so yeah, no, Paladin's really good for AoEing. The other thing is, and you said you had O-Chain, Nezki, is the great thing about it is you get TP from shield blocks. So when you're just AoEing, you're just shield blocking so much with O-Chain that your TP just goes up so fast. You're definitely on whatever, if you're like Aeolian Edge spamming, whatever mob you're directly hitting, skill chains are going off on. It only goes off the mob that you're directly doing it to. Sadly, it would be great if every mob that got hit with the spell or weapon skill chained, but alas, it does not. Alright, I should have some pops already. We'll go through some of the tier 1s. Well, that's where, like, doing Aeolian Edge spamming is actually really good. If you stack a ton of magic attack, it's not really an issue. Alright, so let me see what I have pops first. No, we're not doing Kissed. We could try him, but could do these two. Pretty good. We'll go through and do some of these. Well, was it pre-win is actually good. It's better than O-Chain if you have, what's it called up? Reprisal up. If Reprisal's not up, O-Chain's straight up better. But also O-Chain, what is it? Pre-win, also has better just stats for defense. Typically, though, you don't really need the damage taken that's on there, but the other stats, like magic evasion, is nice. But, obviously, O-Chain's really nice for getting you MP back for shield blocks, so there's the trade-offs. But, yeah, if you don't have Reprisal off, O-Chain is by far better. Go to one of the other ones. Stretch my trusts out. I didn't put Dispel on. The other thing is, War would have been a much better sub job for melee. The fact that I stayed on. Stayed on Red Mage as a hindrance. Who's those? Yeah, I don't mind if you plug another channel, Seth. No, I don't use any third-party programs. So yes, I'm just using the in-game stuff, the gear set swaps. So yes. Yeah, again, yeah, no dispel on that. That's why I say, as soon as I popped him, that's why I immediately said that. I was like, don't have dispel, that's gonna hurt for his magic attack bonus. But I mean, stunning all his magic casts, that did it. I mean, they will. Shantato is ridiculous if you set her up right, and you're doing skill chains all the time. She can do ridiculous damage. I don't like this guy, but... Uh-oh. What even killed him? Oh well. Why not update that macro? That was close. I didn't put seduction in, did I? Or did I? No, I'm gonna have to adjust for that. How many points is that? It's 8, isn't it? That's 6. Alright, we'll drop that. Alright, Nezki, have a good night. We'll do the Tomberry and then... Actually, what time is it? So yeah, it's pushing 11. I'm probably going to have to call it quits anyway, because I got to be up for work at 7 a.m. Alright, I got to wait anyway. This is stupid changing blue. Move over to this question mark. Yeah. Try and move my trusts. Didn't put barrier tusk on. Alright, we'll see how I do on this guy. Did that hit them all? What's going on? Well, that was fun. Why did Subduction not take out the shadows and... Okay. Now I want to try again, but I mean... Maybe I should try another spell? I mean, I thought the shadows had only, like, no HP, and just doing any damage to them, again, got rid of them, is what I thought. It's been a while since I did him, but... Because I know once you, take out all his shadows, and then he, then he staggered for a second anyway, so then you have a chance to recover. Like I said, I thought Subduction would have worked. So I am confused why that didn't go. Take Cocoon off. Let's sort of try Temporal Crush. I just hope it's gonna get the Spelk off in time. This is another thing why it sucks to have, like, caps on this. Did I go there? What's this one? Because again, you can get pops and stuff. I mean, that's what I thought at first, is like cast it too fast, but I mean, you see it hits the mobs, and I did it, what? Did I get 2 or 3 spells off? Let me look at the log. Yeah, so I got Subduction off twice. hits all the mobs. I don't know. It's weird. Actually, I'm still Red Mage sub. I could try just Dialga. I'm not sure why that didn't work. It's possible also Subduction, the way it works, it doesn't strip shadows like where Dialga does. So that's a possibility. I don't know. Because my thought with this whole NM is when you put shadows up, it's like the shadows are now also kind of the NM and it's attacking you. Since Dialga does strip Unsasumi, I don't know. I thought Seduction did. Weird, wild stuff. Now, might help if I actually got the pop. Should have gotten even more shields. Nice. Some more Herculean boots. I'm sure I'll find a use for them somewhere. No, 2 went off. See, look. 1 Subduction. I cast Subduction. One of them, I only hit 2 for whatever reason. So hit 16 and then 24. And then I cast it again. And then that one hit 18 and then 24, 24, and 0. So yeah, it was definitely weird. I think, like I said, I think you can just cast Dialga on them and that works. I'm gonna try that. That's right, I took that off. Alright. that work? No, apparently it didn't. Oh, they're done. Well, no, now I'm dead. Cause yeah, they're darkness based, so yeah, this is done. I don't know, I've definitely taken him before. I wish I could remember what I did. I'm not sure if I took him on blue or what, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Oh, you do have to hit them for 2K? I thought you could just strip them their shot. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out some other time, because yeah, what is it? It's 11 o'clock, so I'm sorry for the late starting stream, guys, but yeah, I'm gonna have to wrap it up here. That was fun though. Got some Alexandrite. Still trying to think. I'm still confused going back to the one fight, because so I got hit with 1, 2, 3. So I got hit with 3 throat stabs, even though like I did more than 2,000 damage to at least 2 of them. It's looking like 3 of them. I don't know. Temporal Crush was the wrong spell to use. Well, that's cool. I'm glad you enjoyed that guide for Alex. I really should go and learn the other zone. I can't remember which one it is. The other tier 2 zone that you can actually do as many times as you want and do that. I know you need to like go, if you're gonna go thief, you need to go like thief, red mage, because there's something about the boss where you can only do so much physical damage and you have to do magic damage, so you gotta like mix it up. I don't know, it's weird. I haven't really done that one that much. Yeah, like I said, I need to do it myself. Basically, I didn't figure it out and make a guide for myself. But yeah, I should definitely do that. But yeah, guys. Malgas is a good silver C2 guide. I'll have to check it out and then see if I can make any adjustments, improvements on my own, make a guide on that. But yeah, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to turn in for the night. But yeah, may you guys have success in all you do. Still weird that Tomberry.